All right. Yep, I can see you right now.
Now, what platform are you using? That way, I could probably I can. Will I be able to see each other with your platform?
Oh yeah, yeah. We'll
Okay.
we'll be able to see each other. Yes, yes. Matter of fact, we are. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Hey, whether you're ready or not, we are live right right now. And
That's
folks,
what I'm
thank you
talking
so much
about.
for tuning in to yet another wonderful episode on the Velocity Channel. Man, we have Tristan with us from National Corporate Credit. A lot of you have already been getting signed on National Corporate Credit, wondering what that's all about. Let me tell you something. This young man is here to get you funding, the funding that you need, right? We were just talking about it earlier, and I was saying that, trying to limit, the the unlimited aspects of national corporate credit. And he was like, no, 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 no. We use that too. I was like, yes, you know what I mean? Like, my goodness, I was thinking that, man, it has to be one side versus another side, but it doesn't have to be that way, right? We want to get you funding. That's the mentality that we have, right? And so, Tristan, I want you to introduce yourself, tell them how you can help. Just let us know how we can
Of
get the
course.
funding in less than 60 days, in less than 45 days, in less than 30 days. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Tell us how to get that.
We can do it in 48 hours. So my name is Tristan Fuller. I'm with National Corporate Credit. Been at National Corporate Credit for 2 years. Before I joined the National Corporate Credit team, I worked at Citibank as a commercial lender. So I've been doing commercial lending for a very long time, about 6 years now in total. The reason I left Citibank was I've noticed that in the banking industry, they're more tiered to hitting a quota and reaching out to a certain amount of clients and getting a certain amount of loans in per month. And it was just something that I didn't like. I like more of the fact that I can actually have a connection with the business owner and give them the right product that best fits their needs, not me trying to reach my quota. So I joined National Corporate Credit, and now I can focus more hands-on with my business owners to ensure that I can get them funded and get them funded in the right boot. That's best, can put them in the best situation to be best successful and scale their business.
My goodness, man, that's awesome.
Yes, sir.
I just wanted to make sure that the audience was going to hear everything that you said, man. And sometimes with technology, it gets kind of glitchy. And I was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and turn this video off of mine because this is going to be all about getting funding, all about what you have to say. Matter of fact, we're going to go ahead and nickname Mondays Money Mondays,
I
because Money
love it.
Mondays is where you get that funding knowledge. Hey, that's where you have an outlet, some place to
Right.
call so that you can get that funding that you need. And so I do have a couple questions here for you.
Of course.
Let me go ahead and ask you this. How did you get started in the funding business?
Yeah, so when I was at Citibank, I actually ran into a scenario where I noticed they were just focusing more on numbers and it wasn't really focused on the client aspect. Now, I'm probably going to get in trouble for saying that's on YouTube, but hey, that's the truth of working at traditional banks. They focus on numbers. I left Citibank and National Corporate Credit reached out to me on LinkedIn. And when I came to visit them for an interview, once I saw what they do, I fell in love with it. They're not here to make a quota. They're really here to help. And I'm here to help, to educate, to teach, to train, to coach, to let people know that here's other options out here. And you don't have to go to a bank and just get stuck with a loan. You can work with a company like ours. Now we can show you all the different products that's out there that you have access to that you don't know you have access to.
Uh-huh.
Did I answer that correctly for you?
Man, that's perfect, man. That's perfect. You know what? I know there's a lot of people out here. They're like, yep. When it comes to real estate investing, numbers. When it comes to business, numbers. But guess what? When it comes to people, people.
Exactly.
Because people are people, and you've heard it said before that, well, it's not personal. It's just business. Listen,
Yep.
it's always personal when it's business. Okay, we got to make sure we got to make sure that we have a balance. The numbers are important, absolutely, but people are too. And I'm glad that you emphasized that aspect, man. I really am, because we were actually going to do a recording till I forgot. Wait a minute, I told these people that we were going live. And so, man, I had to, and I thank you so much, Jesus, for joining. Thank you so much for folks for joining right now. If you have any questions, just let us know. we're just going to go ahead and continue to ask questions here so that you can have the knowledge that you need to get that funding that you desire. All right.
There
Now,
you go.
I know a lot of funding venues, these places that provide funding to people, they do have that credit score limit. Okay, we're not going to beat around the bush there.
Yeah.
What if they don't have 800 credit score? What if they don't have that 700 credit score? Can they still get funding, or are they just doomed to never go out on business, to never have credit, business
Good
credit?
question. Good question. So when a client comes in, right, our minimum credit criteria is a 720 or 700. That's the minimum in order to qualify. Now, let's say you don't. If you don't, what we like to see is, do you have a guarantor? So I'm going to ask you a question. Is there anyone in your circle of influence who will be willing to work with you as far as funding your business? If you have access to a mother, a father, sister, brother, pet, cat, their credit score is above 700 and they're willing to utilize their credit as a guarantor, we can use that credit profile to apply for business credit cards. So they will be the guarantor. They'll receive the inquiries for the business credit cards, but the account is actually going to report under your business EIN number, under your business credit. You're going to be building business credit. Now, as long as you maintain those accounts and keep those accounts in good standing, it'll never backfire to that guarantor. Now, if you're above 700, we can go to the moon with there.
Right, right, man. That's nice. That's nice.
Yes,
And
sir.
the aspect that I like about it is that reporting, where it's going to report to. You know
Right.
what I mean? And who's it going to report on? So could you tell just a little bit about that? I think that bears repeating, because
Yes.
once people hear guarantor, they're like, oh man, they're not gonna, because
Right.
it's gotta report on them. Nah, what's the real, what is the real skinny on that?
Right. So there's a little difference, kind of the same thing, but there's a little difference between co-signer and guarantor.
Mm,
Co-signer is when, hey, I want to get this car. Hey, can you co-sign so I can get this car? It's reported on both of your credit. He's got on his credit, and now it's on the co-signer's credit. So that's co-signer. That can be dangerous, right? Now with guarantor, hey, can you guarantor for me to get a business line of credit? Or can you guarantor for me to get a business credit card? Now, they're going to leverage their credit. They're going to receive the inquiries on their credit, but the account is not going to report to your credit or their credit. It's going to report to the business credit. Now, as long as that account remains in good standing, it would never, ever backfire to the guarantor. But if you go delinquent, if you miss payments, if you say, hey, I don't want to pay that no more, then yes, they may go after the guarantor. So I want to make sure that's clear. I won't say they would never go after them. It's possible they can go after the guarantor.
right. Nice, man. I thank you so much for clearing that
Yes.
up, because we definitely value transparency here. And the thing about it is too, man, what the listeners that are online right now, they are responsible. You know what I mean? And that's actually
Right.
why I started this channel and kind of stuck my neck out, because at a time where people were saying, cut up your credit cards, cut up your credit cards, cut up your credit cards, forget a line of credit, forget leverage. That's actually what it said to me. Forget leverage. You know what I mean? Like forget trying to leverage your opportunities, and to me, sometimes that can come across as condescending. Oh, do you
Right.
not trust me enough to get this funding? Do you not trust me enough to handle this credit card? Do you not trust me enough to handle these lines of credit? And I was like, hey, man, wait a minute. I think people can be trusted with the lines of credit. All they need is the education. Like,
Right.
how many people knew that it's a possibility, even a possibility, to get funded in 48 hours?
Exactly.
How
Exactly.
many? Not everybody.
And,
How
and
many
it's like
people
that.
knew? Yeah.
Like when I get a call, they say, well, how long will this process take? Most of the time, 24 hours. We can get this done for you today. Are you serious? Like, yes, absolutely. I thought it was going to take at least a week. That's typically the questions I get. But the longest it ever took me, and it was like 72 hours. And that was because the client didn't have their taxes on hand. They had to go into their CPA to get their tax returns, and they had to go and upload a credit report. So that's totally okay. But if I can have all the documents ready, like if you're looking for over $100,000 and you're not a startup, if you can have tax returns ready, at least 2 years tax returns ready, 6 months of business bank statements, oh, we can get the ball rolling for you.
Man, that's wonderful. So now the question of the day, man. We're going to be talking numbers here. So let's get to the 150,
All
to
right,
the 150K. Are you ready?
let's do
Uh, uh, uh,
it.
uh, uh, what would they need to get access to $150,000? What
Perfect.
would they
All right.
need?
Two different options. We can talk about startup options and then a business that has been in business for 4 years. If it's a startup business, our cap, I can get you up to 150,000 if it's a startup business. The way we do that is via credit card stacking. Now, what do you need to have in order to get access to $100,000 in available credit card limits? I would say you would need to have at least 8 years of credit history. I actually got 10 hats pulled up here. 8 years of credit history. You need to have 20% lower utilization, 30% of utilization. I like to look at 20% or 10%. So if
Mhm.
you know that, hey, I'm going to be looking for funding soon, if you can get your limits paid down, your percentage utilization paid down as low as possible, that's going to increase your chances. If you can get down to 10%, even better. Let's go to, you got to be the primary of all your accounts. So if you have one credit card with Chase Bank for 2,500 bucks, and then you have 3 authorized user accounts for 30 grand a piece, that will not help you. You need to be the primary account holder of that account. It needs to be your account, not a co-signers or authorized users. If you have at least 2 to 3 relationships with high lenders like Citibank, Chase, US Bank, Bank of America, Navy Federal, if those limits are, your credit card limits already on personal is around 10,000, 20,000, $30,000, I can utilize that relationship as long as it's in good standing to get you access to $100,000 on business funding. If you have a mortgage reporting, that's perfect. Then by that mortgage reporting, now that shows history of making payments on time. Now you may qualify for our term loan program that we could lend up to 100,000, up to $200,000 with our term loan program. Credit score needs to be at least 720. The higher, the better. Even though we look at credit score last, the higher, the better rating you will get, the better promotions you can get, the better interest rates you can receive by having a higher credit score. Credit score, we look at last because we look at the credit relationship first. I want to see primary author of primary accounts. If I can see mortgage reporting, if I can see some term loan history, if I can see multiple accounts open with a limit over $10,000, no late payments, no missed payments, no collections, no derogatory remarks, no recent inquiries, you're going to be good to go. I know I've probably said a lot. It is a lot that goes into the underwriting process, but if you meet all those criteria, you can qualify for 0% interest for up to 15 months.
Wow. That's amazing. And I know a lot of people that are like, oh man, credit card stacking. But see, there's a world of difference I've
Yeah.
learned from business credit and personal credit.
Yes.
The business credit, they have criteria that they look at and it's more important.
Mhm.
And then personal credit, they have criteria that they look at and it's more important. With the business credit, what I've noticed is that they mainly want you to pay on time
Yes.
each month. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So as far as maxing out, as far as stacking your credit cards, they are not as what I've seen adamant as the personal. Like it won't ding you as much as the personal side. Now you better not get more than 5 credit cards on the personal side. Right. But on the business credit side, I mean, I've seen people just stack them like hundreds, you know what I mean, where they just
Right.
spread it all out. Like, and these are all business cards. Ha ha. Now, what I want to know is, Tristan, is that something that you've seen, or what are some of the pitfalls we can avoid there? And what are some of the fears that you can kind of alleviate when it comes to getting those credit cards and stacking those credit cards like that?
Yes. The main question I get, and I love being transparent and honest and open. The main question I get and say, hey, look, if we do the credit card program, is it just going to be one inquiry? The answer is no. It's possible we can do, if you're looking for 50 grand, we do one application, you get approved for 50 grand, you're going to be like, I'm done. And that's totally okay. But to get the best results out of our program, you're going to range from anywhere from 3 to 5 inquiries. I have seen some go up to 7 inquiries. People are like, man, that's a lot. Yes, it is. But 3 to 5 inquiries would get the max results. Well, almost to the max results of our process. Now, with the inquiries, you're going to have 5 relationships, 5 separate relationships with 5 separate banks. Now, what's the key behind that? Well, now at 6 months, you're able to call each relationship and say, hey, I have a large purchase coming up, but my limit does not meet the criteria to make that purchase. I need a credit limit increase. Now they're able to do that. You can say, hey, this credit card has a limit of 50 grand, but this one's only 10,000. I want to give you guys my business. Can you increase my limit? Now they can increase your limit. If I raise 100,000 for you at 6 months, you can turn that 100,000 to 130, 150,000. Also at 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, you can go to each of those lenders and say, hey, I had this relationship with you for 6 months. What other programs do you offer my business? Now you're able to do relationship banking with the tools we gave you. And I will actually coach you and work with you for 12 months to show you how to utilize that relationship to gain more relationships out of it at no additional cost.
Goodness gracious. So let me get this right. To gain more relationships from that relationship
Yes.
at no cost.
Yes.
You know what? You know what that sounds to me like? Leverage.
Exactly. And I show how to leverage the credit. So it's different ways to start business funding. You have the fast way and you have the slow way. The slow way is for guys that don't really qualify because of their credit. They don't have a guarantor. So now their only option, they have 2 options. They can either start building up their net 30 accounts and net 30 vendors, net 60 vendors, net 90 vendors to get access to business trade lines and start building it up to get their first business credit card. Or they can do what I did, where I just took a lump sum of cash and I applied it to a business secured credit card, a business secured loan. Now I started building my trade line history that way, waited a few months to start stacking my credit cards with my business entity. But for those of you who have good, strong personal credit, you can fund that business today. You can fund it right now. You can call me once we finish this call, we can fund your business today.
Wow. Nice. Nice. That's perfect. Wow. You know, I see behind you there, Chicago. And what that reminds me of is I don't know if you know the book, Modern Money Mechanics.
There you go.
Modern Money Mechanics, man. And when I think about the book, Modern Money Mechanics, I think about Chicago, man. And, you know, before I did a video and I started it upside down. I started it upside down for a reason, right? Because a lot of times people are wondering, man, why am I not getting ahead in my business? Why is this not working? I'm doing all the things that I was taught in school, right?
Right.
I was doing all the things that I was taught in college, but it's because perhaps you're in an upside down system, right? And so when you're in an upside down system, it doesn't always work the way you think it should. And so what you do at those times, you adapt, right? You find out that, oh, well, maybe grandma's advice on how to run a business does not apply to me and in this century, right? And everybody's different. But
Right.
as you go through, you're looking at it and you're wondering, well, perhaps getting funded is something that I should look at as a business, as an entity. What's going to be good for my business is what is priority in the business owner's mind, right? And so, man, I'm so thankful that you came on here and kind of cleared things up as far as the 150K is concerned and everything else. What else should we know? What other question should we have asked that we did not ask about how to get funding?
How to get it?
Yeah.
Good credit is how to get it. But the real key is to really understand what you need the funding for. Because when you come to us, I'm not just here to get you funded. Because if I get you $100,000 and you don't know what to do with it, you're gonna owe $100,000. So what I like to do is, one, give product knowledge, but two, learn really deeply about the business. So the first question I'm going to ask you is, hey, how long have you been in business? And if you're a startup, what prompted you to start this business and what you actually need the money for? If you say, hey, look, I need the money for inventory and I'm looking for a business loan, You may qualify for a $50,000 loan, but if you're looking to purchase inventory with that loan, you may not be able to sell the inventory right away. So I may not say, hey, instead of doing a loan, how about we do a line of credit? That way, you may not have to spend it all on inventory, but you can utilize a little bit of it for inventory and then use another portion of it for marketing. So now you're not stuck paying that monthly payment. You still have access to this money, and now you can utilize some marketing to bring clients in, to bring your customers in. That way you can start generating revenue to pay off that credit line. Best thing about paying off that credit line is you can reuse it. But with a business loan, a lot of people want business loans, but once you pay that loan off, you got to run your credit again to get access to more money.
Mm,
And I
okay.
want to get away from that.
Right, right. So how important is it when you get the funding to make sure that you are investing either back in into your education or back into your team's education, or perhaps there's an affiliate that you're paying or whatever. How important is it to make sure that money that you're getting multiplies, or at least a percentage of it?
Very important. And that's what we can help with as well. I'm a business consultant at the end of the day. And I get people that come to me all the time and say, hey, look, I need funding. And I want to be completely honest with you. I don't really know too much about what I want to utilize the money for. Here's my business idea and I just want to scale it, but I don't want to make a mistake. And that's perfect. So here, let's sit down real quick, go over your business. Let me know everything about your business and what you're looking to get out of it. And from the knowledge that I have, I will give them tips and tricks on what they can utilize their money for to really scale their business. They don't have to listen to me, but I don't want them in a position where they can be harmed and they can end up, their business can fail.
Right, right. Man, that's something else. Well, because the reason I asked that question is because I remember a while back, I had advised this couple on what bank to go to. And, I was consulting them and everything, what I call a velocity consultation. And they were like, yeah, man, we'll happy to pay, I think it was $97 at the time, but that $97, right? Watch this. That $97 turned into them over $30,000
Nice.
in lines of credit. And so what does that say? That I charge too little. Look, folks, you got to do like this couple did and realize that when you calculate it out, you're looking at the information that this is information that you are privy to. It's new to you. You go ahead and say, okay, well, let's go ahead and invest in this. And you never know, that money could come back to you hundreds of times
Yes.
over.
Yeah.
Why? Because there's something that person, right, that person has a perspective that's different than yours, right? Tristan's going to have a different perspective than a lot of other people out there that are just, following the herd mentality, and not caring about the people, just caring about the numbers. Man, it's amazing that you are also a business consultant at the end of the day. You're going to help these people realize that, hey, yeah, we can fund you, but we're also going to show you, right? Hey, perhaps you can do this with it. We're going to show you some options, right? And leave that, totally up to you and what you want to do with it. But you're looking at perspectives that perhaps they don't see. And my
Yes.
goodness, that is so necessary, especially in these times, right? So yeah, and that's just what I wanted to get at: investing, making sure that money comes right back to you,
Mhm.
and you're actually making it that this company and what you're helping with is making that much smoother than what we're used to. So that's really good. If you get into a situation where, okay, so I need the 48 hours, you're gonna have to go over this again because it's too good to be true, but I know it's true, right? But I need this funding, this week. I can't have it. What are some of the scenarios that you've seen where the customer has gotten that funding within the 72, within the 48 hours? What does that template look like? What does that model look like?
Yeah. So once the application is received, I'll start underwriting it immediately to see how much they qualify for. And we get them on a call to learn more about their business, go over everything with them. Once we go over it with them, we can let them know their offer. And then I'm going to send them an email for everything they need to fill out and complete. If they can complete that the same day, I can fund the same day. So it really comes down to the client. How soon can you get those documents back to me that we requested? If you can get those documents to us same day or within 24 hours, we can fund within 24 hours. So it's really up to the client. It's up to you.
Nice, nice. That's good, man. Because a lot of times, me being in real estate, I've actually seen deals, man, fall through on others, because funding, man,
Yeah,
funding, and the lender, perhaps forgotten something, or the wasn't done in time. Deadlines are very important.
yeah.
Deadlines are very important, man. And boy, to to hear you say, "Hey, it's you," because we're gonna do our job, right? We're gonna make sure that you get the funding. So that's good, man. And I tell you what, man, won't you let us know in these different seasons what's the like, because you know our people are numbers people, and we like to see, okay, so in what different seasons is the peak lending season, or what season would be best for me to go ahead and get this funding and get my business growing. What seasons have you seen are like ups, downs? Perhaps the winter time is the low season,
Mhm.
the summertime is the higher season or whatnot, because they're trying to get this marketing opportunity because everybody's out. What are the seasons that you've seen are the best lending seasons?
So the lending season, really all seasons. Now,
Okay.
the peak season for when people are actually actively looking for lending is right after a holiday. It's towards the beginning of the year, right before spring. So right now is the peak when people actually start to, like, you know what, spring is coming. I want to start scaling my business for the spring and for the summer. So right now is the peak. But what people understand is if you follow what's going on, the banking industries are felon. They're getting more stricter on their lending processes.
Mm.
Now, we got a way around that. So instead of going to a bank to get access to a loan, work with us. We got the tips and tricks of the trade to get you around that and still get you funded. So everyone is still fundable. As long as you got the proper tools, the proper people backing you, we can get you funded.
Nice, nice. My goodness, man. So look, folks, I went ahead and I put that there in the comment section. I'm going to be putting it in the description link as well when this goes up on YouTube. You caught it live. Thank you so much for joining us. Tristan, is there anything else you want to? Hey, man, the floor is yours. If you want to take another hour and a half, man, go ahead and do it. You have actually given us so much value. We got to have you back on, man. But yeah, is there anything else you wanted to
Yeah.
wanted to say?
So I love saying this. So the way our program is designed is it's more of a do it with you platform. That way you're fully educated in this whole process so that in the future, you know how to do this yourself. And I like to say, you know, how the saying where you can bring a horse to the water, but you can't make the horse drink it. I love that saying. So with this process, we're going to bring you to the water. But once we bring you to the water, I'm going to purify the water for you. And I'm going to show you a crystal clear glass of it being purified. And I'm going to offer it to you. And it's up to you if you want to drink it or not. And if you drink it, I'm going to drink a cup with you. And I'm going to show you how to scale your business with business funding.
Beautiful, man. Beautiful. Listen, folks, I know you're going to be uh knocking down his door. So I'm gonna go ahead and get off because I know, look, we were just good. Oh, okay, there we go. So look, let me go ahead and get off, man. Make sure that they get an opportunity to speak with you and everything. And man, Tristan, thank you so much. We gotta have you back on, man.
Definitely. Thank you for
Thank
having
you.
me. If you need me, just let me know. Give me a call. Have
Awesome, Tristan. Have a good one, man. Thank you so much. We'll
a
talk to you
blessed one.
soon.
Happy Monday.
All right, you too now.
All right.
Folks, I told you, we are teaming up with some people who are serious. First is the velocity banking tool. Now it's velocity funding, we call it. All right. So listen, folks, I went ahead and I put that where to get more information on that in the comment section. We're also going to be putting it in the description below. Listen, folks, it's going to be the only link in this description. If you need links to the tool, I got you there as well. But man, hey, click on that link and get funded for your business. All right. God bless. Link, you look at like, share, and subscribe this video all over the place. All right. God bless you, and you take care.